Okay, what we're going to do is we're going to round off the bottom now. Okay. Now, here is where the tail is. So what we're going to do is this is the center, remember? So we're going to go a little bit on the side there, make a little bit of a curvature there, and have its tail coming down and around. Alright, so the first thing you want to do is you want to just cut a little piece in. Okay, just to give it a distinction that the tail's coming out of there. Alright, and then you're going to follow with the tip of your knife. You're going to put a stop cut. We'll worry about rounding that off in a little bit. And you're going to go down towards that stop cut. Alright, see how it's merging out? Perfect. See, he's got a little bit of a hip there. That's good. His joints are. Now this side can be trimmed down just a tad, yeah, because that technically should be a little bit thinner. There, okay. And you got a little bit of a hip there. That's good. And I try to make sure I round things up. It's not always easy to do when you're doing things out of a block, but do as much as you can. You know, try to get rid of that square look to it. Don't be afraid to try to cut it out and get rid of it. I can make that a little bit deeper there yet, just to give it a little bit more of a look there. See how I have, I don't know if you can see that, but this is definitely distinct on either side, so we're going to go in a little further, and even the paws will go in a little further. That's okay, we're going to just sweep this out. And when you do a carving, you just pull it back, look at it a couple of times, you know, get a good feel for where you're going with it and how much really has to be removed. There's a lot more cutting than I did on the bandsaw. The bandsaw just gave me an idea where to go with stuff, like with the neck and stuff, and rounding off the head to start with. See how we have that sweeping up? I don't know if you can see that. There we go. Alright, we have that sweeping up. We can do a little bit in the front here yet. Kind of follow that all the way around. We're going to put a little collar on him yet. Since the collar is nice and, well, not nice and tight, but they kind of sit underneath the hair anyway. Okay, so there's our cat so far. He's coming along alright, so we're going to just trim this back a tad, and we're going to redefine that little V cut there again. Alright, round off his paws a little bit. He's got big paws. And actually I cut a little bit off I rounded these going across. I rounded these going. Alright, and then you round them off this way. You just get rid of all those square. Now here you want to go down a little bit and put a little V cut there, okay? The side of its paw, and you just want to go in a little bit there. Now here, this is where his other leg is kind of in. We're just gonna kind of put a little indentation, and its leg is behind there. Okay? Just like so. Round off his tail. Okay. Round off his body a little bit more. And I like it curving up a little bit, so let's take that off. Just like so. Try not to just do straight lines if you can help it. Can't always do that, I understand that. Alright. This would be a great project for anybody that loves cats. Yeah, that, you know, they will go crazy over this. And make it the color of their cat, they'll love you for it. I'm more of a cat person than a dog person. We always had cats around the farm. We had dogs, but they weren't, I don't know, they were usually tied up. They weren't running free because of the road here. And it was too bad because we usually had them chained up, which we wanted them free, but we had a couple hit in the past on the road and it just wasn't safe. And I'm going to trim this out just a tad more here. He's a rough thin cat with a big head. Alright. You've got the idea for how to take care of his legs and all. But usually his front legs are a little bit smaller, so we're just going to trim this back a little bit further. Now if you have a round gouge, you can do this a little neater. And like I said, I'm starting to do that more now with the carvings. Just makes it a little bit easier to carve. But the problem with gouges and stuff is keeping them sharp. And I find that you can cut yourself so easily when you don't watch what you're doing when you're using a gouge or a palm tool. You know, make sure your gloves on when you're using them. Okay. So we have the body pretty well done. We're going to round up the tail a little bit towards the body. I'm going to go offline and clean it up a little bit here and there. The other thing we want to do is we want to get rid of that. So let's get rid of that a little bit. The tail's kind of just flowing outside of that. So we have his tail. We have a little bit of a body. Okay. We have a little bit of his hips and his front legs here. And then we're going to start on his face when we come back. Okay, so let me clean it up a little bit and we'll start on the face when we come back.